To create products like these, back in the old days, the wheat was grown, it was harvested, taken to the silos, and then it had to be bagged. And take a look at this process. It was called bag ramming, to get the most amount of grain into each bag. That was really expensive stuff back then. Prior to bulk handling, everything was handled in bags, and it was quite an art to get as much grain into the bag as was physically possible. Ron Leckie explains the practice.
For the silo, you just sewed the bag two seams together so that they put the knife in and open the bag very easily. But there's no point in putting any more wheat in it. But a lot of the old farmers, and my father would be one of them, oh, that wasn't a bag of wheat unless you rammed it full and had it nice and full. That's all right if you're taking it to where we used to put it in the wheat stacks, but if you were taken to the silos, which if you're close enough to silos where you cart the silos with the horse wagons and so forth, you just put about 10 stitches in them and the knife goes in them and cuts them off. And that was the sewing for the silos, but for sewing for the wheat stacks, you had to have about 15 or 16 stitches in them. They had to be sewn up with one seam underneath the other, underneath the main seam, so that you got no leaks. Well, it's fair enough to put it in because the farmers saved bags. If you put an extra few pound in you could save bags because the bag went with it. But with a silo, you brought the bags back again, so it didn't make any difference really.
Bag ramming ensured the maximum amount of grain was put into each bag.
Well, they had a bag filler, they called them. They were a tube with a container at the top of it. You fill the container at the top. It held about a gallon of wheat if you put it in round gallon. You filled it in and then you sewed the bag up till the last 6 or 7 inches. Put the tube in there and you rammed it up and down to fill the bag. And also, and when you did that not only it, when you sewed the last bit, you generally had a bottle that you hit the last bit and then you hit that again, and that would allow you to put a bit more wheat in the last corner before you put the ear on it. It was important to put a lot in. A lot of the farmers, they wanted to save bags, they didn't want to buy too many bags, so you had to fill the bags right up if you could.